Hello and welcome to a brand new season of the Miltech Sport Volkswagen Racing Cup. And what a place to begin the championship, here at the home of British motor racing, Silverstone. This year is set to be one of the most competitive yet, with a full race calendar visiting some of the best circuits in the UK, plus Spa-Francorchamps Grand Prix track in Belgium. And as for the drivers, such an array of talent on display, from novices to British touring car racers. It's going to be absolutely fascinating. For a preview, let's join David Addison.
Well, 2017 delivered action in bucket loads, from Alton Park to Snetterton, Brands Hatch to Thruxton. The championship was every bit as exciting as it was spectacular, but there could only be one champion. Bobby Thompson. He's now competing at the top level in the British Touring Car Championship, leaving the door wide open for a new champion. One young hopeful finished third in 2017, so could this be his year? Jamie Bond.
We've got a long year ahead. We've got a great package this year, so we took it to the final race last year with Bobby and Tom. There's a lot of drivers come from other championships that they've done really well in, and we've got a long year, so my main aim is to win as many races as possible. I want to be on that top step as much, and then come the latter part of the year, we'll see where we stand, and hopefully it's going to be at the top of the championship.
Newcomer to the series and former Formula Ford racer Rory Clark is raring to go, but he's under no illusions about his chances.
So far, I think it's going to be a very competitive year. There's two British touring car drivers, so they're very fast, so I want to see where I am compared to them and hopefully try and beat them. So far, I've qualified P5, so for the year I'm looking at qualifying at least pole. Would be a really good thing. A couple of podiums as well would be really, really good.
A couple of BTCC drivers take to the stage for 2018. They know a little about wheel-to-wheel tin-top racing. Their goal? Simple: to win the championship.
What else can I do? I mean, I can't come back and not do my best. So no, we're just going to do our best. And I mean, the team Maximum is doing a great job with the car, so I'm happy with that, and we work good together, so that's good.
You're no stranger to racing in this championship, are you?
No, 2012 and 2013 with the VW Cup, and some happy memories. But no, I've got a few things going on, so obviously taking a little break from British touring cars. But yeah, what a great championship to get back into with VW Cup, you know, and here this weekend to see what we can do.
No one else is pushing too much pressure, so I have to do it myself and winning everything.
It's almost time for the second race here at Silverstone. As you can see, the teams are just having a little bit of downtime before heading out onto the track. But let's find out what happened in the first race, shall we, with David Addison.
Race 1 had Dennis Strandberg on pole position, with Jamie Bond lining up with him at the front of the 1x1 staggered grid. Martin Depper shared row 2 with Simon Walton. Bond had a clear view on the inside line down towards Copse Corner. Simon Walton was slow away from the very wet grid as the cars battled their way down to Copse for the first time. Owen Walton was eager to gain ground as well as the cars worked their way through the right-hander of Copse Corner. But on a treacherous track, survival was going to be important. Martin Depper had taken second place from Jamie Bond at Copse, but he went wide going into Brooklands and he got sideways, and that gave Bond the place back. As the cars accelerated their way over the timing line, up front Dennis Strandberg was looking strong. Simon Walton, however, was less successful, having a spin going into Brooklands, thankfully not being collected by anybody. At the checkered flag, though, it was a win for Dennis Strandberg. Jamie Bond chasing him home in second. A win for Strandberg from Jamie Bond second and Toby Davis third. Martin Depper, Owen Walton and Tom Walker rounding out the top 6.
Starting the first couple of 15 laps were really good. Towards the end, my clutch stopped working, so I had to do the last 3 or 4 laps in 4th gear. The car didn't work yesterday, and today we put it on pole and won the first race. So, I mean, the team is doing a great job with the car, so I'm just happy to be here.
Well, it's almost time for race 2 here at Silverstone, and as you can see, there's a fantastic display of machinery taking to the track. Polos, Golfs, Siroccos, and this pair of Audi TTs that made their debut in the championship last year.
2017, last year, we had a really good year, got on the podium a few times in the VAG part. I got 4 wins and lots of trophies at the end of the year. Obviously, I would love to win the championship, but that's a bit of a dream. If I can get plenty of podiums, I'll be happy with that. I'd like to see my son come on a bit more this year. He's in the other Audi TT. And it would be nice if he could get a few wins as well and possibly go on to win the championship.
It's time for the second race of the weekend here at Silverstone, and as you can see, the man on pole is Tom Walker. Now, the beady-eyed amongst you will recall he finished P6 in the first race, and that's because this race is a reverse grid for the front 6. So the man who won last time out, Dennis Strandberg, he starts in 6th place. It's going to be an incredible race. Let's join David Addison.
Race 2 fans are ready, and Tom Walker is the man on pole position with this grid based on the results of race 1 with the top 6 reversed. Lights go red, engine notes will rise, and as the lights go out, it's blast off. Jamie Bond accelerates away from the outside of the 3rd row of the grid, gets himself up alongside Toby Davis, but they're both being outdragged by the race 1 winner Dennis Strandberg, who goes through on the inside. It's a 20-minute race. Through Cops Corner they go, and now Matthew Evans just up ahead of Jamie Bond on the run up towards Maggotts. 3 wide further up the road. This reverse grid always engenders lots of great racing in race 2, and the cars work their way now through Beckett's for the first time. Jamie Bond getting a little bit crossed up there. The road much drier than it was for the opening race, and now the fight's on for 2nd place because Martin Depper is coming under attack by the look of it. The race leader is Tom Walker from pole position. Bond goes 2nd. Depper back into the Volkswagen Racing Cup after a spell in the British Touring Car Championship. He runs 3rd, and only just, in fact, because Dennis Strandberg, who raced in the championship at Croft last year, is right behind him, and a big spin for Russell Joyce. The graphic designer has rotated, and lots of damage look as well for Simon Walton's Audi TT. So that has happened somewhere around the opening lap of the race. In the meantime, the cars now accelerate their way up towards the end of the opening lap here. Accelerating through with Rory Clark also trying to gain ground as the cars turn their way out of the right-hander of Copse. Now Tom Walker has well and truly been out-dragged in a straight line, so it's Jamie Bond who's managed to gain ground. Through Maggotts they go now up towards the tight right-hand hairpin at Beckett's. Accelerating their way onto the fast National Straight, the Wellington Straight. Now this is the view on board with Rory Clark, and he's trying to gain ground all the while here. Speed building underneath the vehicle bridge, down towards Brooklands they will come. Jamie Bond is the race leader, 3 wide for 2nd place, and Martin Depper around the outside. Back into 2nd place he goes. Strandberg runs 3rd, and Tom Walker staying with them as best he can in 4th place. This is Clark's view. Tries to make a go at Tony Prendergast here. Prendergast, having turned 50, has decided the time is right to go racing, and Tim Dockers, sadly, is not going very far at all because he is stranded trackside. Jamie Bond then trying to make good his escape as they come over the line once more. Strandberg pulls out and pulls back in again to try and find a way past Martin Depper. Martin had his spell with Eurotech and then with Motorbase in the BTCC, and now back into the Volkswagen Racing Cup. But Strandberg, who raced for Stuart Lyne's Maximum Motorsport team last year on occasion, is right there behind him. The leader locks up at Beckett's, and Strandberg goes deep into the corner as well. So Jamie Bond it is, still leading the way, but Strandberg cannot find a way past Depper. Martin has certainly learnt from the school of hard knocks in the BTCC. He knows exactly how to defend, how to attack, but Strandberg now pulls up to the inside line, diving down towards Brooklands. The two Siroccos overlapping. Strandberg on the inside line should go through, and he does go through. He has the tighter line, and he has second place now on the run up towards the right-hander of Luffield. And there in the pit lane with the damage is Simon Waltham. And it's a lot of damage, as you can see, on that front right corner. Now let's try and piece it all together. On board with Rory Clark's car. Look up the road, there's a sideways Simon Walton. It goes left, it goes right, and bang, straight across the road and wipes out the Golf that was doing its best to keep out of the way. Round two of the Volkswagen Racing Cup from Silverstone, and you're looking at a great battle going on for second place between Dennis Strandberg and Martin Depper. Strandberg has taken the place from Depper once, and Depper gets it back again on the inside going through Luffield. A great battle between the two of them here. Russell Joyce, having had a big moment at Brooklands earlier on, has had another one. Round he goes. And meantime, Martin Depper hanging on to second place ahead of Dennis Strandberg. They've now got Tom Walker, the pole man, catching back up to them. Fights on for 8th place, lower down the order. Rory Clark trying to gain a position as he comes on the tighter line out of the Beckett's hairpin. Is he going to be able now to make the run up the inside of the Golf ahead of him? Let's see. Under the vehicle bridge, down towards Brooklands. The inside line is the ideal place to challenge, and that is exactly what Clark does. Launches it up the inside, uses a little bit of curb, and goes through. The former Carter and BMW compact racer from north of the border goes through and gains the place. Battles raging on board with Mark Wakefield then, graduating from the Minis for this season, and there Ethan Hamilton's car being hoiked out of the way. That was the one, I think, that was collected by the errant Audi earlier on in the race of Simon Walton. So that's pieced all of that together. The surviving Audi TT of Owen Walton goes really wide at Copse, way over the curb. Now that, remember, started on the inside of the front row of the grid. Battle is still on for second, third and fourth, and Martin Depper in the distinctive green Sirocco is hanging on to the place, but as he defends, so the race leader is getting away. Toby Davis up the road, 7th, and he's got a problem, slows right down. Rory Clark goes past him, but Toby Davis, who was 4th on the grid, has been dropping further and further and further down the order, and now he's got a big problem. Race leaders come through the left-hander of Brooklands once more. Look up the road, you can see the way that the leader, Jamie Bond, is getting away. 3rd in the championship last season. It looks as though he's going to be on target for a race win. But can Dennis Strandberg do the double here? Because as you look at Toby Davis now stranded trackside, Strandberg is breathing down the neck of Martin Depper for second place, and taking with him then Tom Walker, who can't find a way through at Copse, but Strandberg can. The Swedish driver goes through on the inside line and picks up the place. So Dennis Strandberg now second, but he's got a big task on his hands. As through on the inside, Mark Wakefield goes 7th. Back through on the inside at the expense of Rory Clark there. A good move, that pulled on the inside and through he goes. The left-hand kink at Maggots, and then hard on the brakes, turn right through the Beckett's hairpin. Back on the power onto Wellington straight now, speed building all the while. So there is Strandberg, Martin Depper in the green Sirocco behind him, coming under attack from the ever-improving Tom Walker. They round Brooklands, but if they'd stop squabbling and work together, they might be able to catch up to the race leader. This is Rory Clark's view. Now remember, he started in 15th place, so he's making good progress. He's been ahead of Wakefield once, and he's back ahead of him again. That line on the inside is there for the taking. You can see the Sirocco has gone through. 52 is Rory Clark on the inside line, and Mark Wakefield for Team Hard, Tony Gillam's squad, tries to go round the outside and fight back, but again he left the door wide open into Brooklands, and Clark dives through. The two of them running together as they go over the timing line once more, down towards Copse Corner. Rory Clark goes to the inside to try to cover off that line and defend, and still the race leader, making this look relatively comfortable, is Jamie Bond. Second and third turning through together. Strandberg has got Depper right on his tail. The two of them running nose to tail once more down the Wellington straight, under the vehicle bridge and down towards Brooklands here. Tom Walker, the pole man on that reverse grid, staying with them as best he can in 4th place. but can they do anything about Jamie Bond, the race leader? Bond has made a big name for himself in the Volkswagen Racing Cup. Of course, all of them hoping to emulate Bobby Thompson, who's moved on to the British Touring Car Championship this year, the reigning champion, driving for Tony Gillam's team and maintaining the Volkswagen link. He's in a Volkswagen CC, part of the Team Hard squad. 31, Matthew Wilson's at the back of this little battle pack as they come out of Brooklands and through Luffield now, up towards the timing line out of Woodcote Corner. Number 5, Sirocco, Tony Prendergast going through. Novice Cross on the back, new to the championship this season. Hard on the brakes, Mark Wakefield once more looks for a way to try to get himself past Rory Clark, but to no avail there. Out of the right of Copse, up now towards Maggot, and has Wakefield got a problem? He slows right down. Everybody comes streaming past him, and Mark Wakefield has got a problem. He's lost power. Up front, it's all been a shuffling, because now, look, Jamie Bond is being caught by Dennis Strandberg. Now, he in turn has still got Martin Deppert behind him, admittedly, but the gaps are coming down. So, even though they're squabbling, the two Siroccos are catching the race leader, and Mark Wakefield looks as though he's a retirement. He's used the escape road up at Beckett's. He's out of the race. Disappointment for the former Carter and Mini racer. He is going no further. The leaders come through in the meantime. Is Jamie Bond now on borrowed time? They make the run down towards Copse Corner, and there's more drama. Is there oil on the circuit potentially? Let's have a look at this. On board with Wakefield, turns his way through Copse Corner, and there's no drive coming out of the corner. He drops it down a gear. But I wonder whether it's a drive shaft or a diff problem. No drive for Mark Wakefield. In the meantime, we've got second and third running together, but look how much closer they are now to the race leader. Jamie Bond is getting ever more nervous here. The lead battle is a almost four-way fight now as they go into Copse Corner again. Strandberg, who we've seen on and off in the Volkswagen Racing Cup in the past and has always been successful. Remember Spa, remember Snetterton a couple of seasons back when he ran second and he won the opening race of the day. He's got Deppert right up behind him, but they are inching up onto the tail of Jamie Bond here. The sky might fall in here for Bond any minute, because the second and third place Siroccos are looking ever more menacing to challenge for that race lead. And just to add to the leaders' woes, there's a back marker up the road as well. Russell Joyce will need negotiating. The Polo, run by the Power Max Racing squad, will be lapped in a minute, and look at this, it is 3 for the race lead. There's an 8-wheel Sirocco breathing down the back of the Golf now. The Siroccos could barely be closer, and Jamie Bond is feeling the pressure. 20 minutes of racing, the clock ticking on down, and he desperately wants every lap to be the last. Through Woodcote they come, over the timing line once more. Through they turn again. The run in towards Copse Corner, and now look, Bond is having to go defensive. He moves to the inside there to cover off that line and preventing Strandberg from going through, but he's wide over the curb. This is Bond's view. Will it stay a clear road? No, Strandberg's alongside. Strandberg is ahead of him. Outside for Maggots, translates to the inside for Beckett. Bond tries to get back up the inside, but there's just nowhere near enough of a gap, and he's got to stay on the back of the Sirocco as they come through the corner. Coming out of Beckett's now. This is the run down Wellington Straight. Is it going to be the flag this time, or can they squeeze one more lap out of the race? Let's see. Dennis Strandberg comes into Brooklands. It's going to be touch and go this. Bond is second. Deppert crawling all over him for third. Through Luffield they come now. Wide off the lock, back on the power, sprint up towards the timing line. I think they will get one more lap out of it, so Strandberg hangs on to the advantage. Jamie Bond then, having led the bulk of the race, drops to second. And Martin Deppert looks for a way through. He's on the inside as they look on the run towards Copse, but no. Deppert pulled out, pulled back in, couldn't do it. Through the right-hander now. Again, Jamie Bond goes a little bit wider. This the view on the run up towards Maggot. There goes Deppert. And what has happened to Jamie Bond? He's losing pace, is he? No, look at Deppert, also ahead of him, drifting a little bit wide over the curb. And yes, there's a problem for Bond. He's way out wide. It's almost like he's got a puncture. Jamie Bond, perhaps that's why he was losing time. If it was a slow puncture that's finally gone down, that would allow for why the car would not turn. So Strandberg is the leader, second is Deppert, third is now Tom Walker. They come down towards Brooklands. And the race leader is very definitely Dennis Strandberg. Deppert running second, Walker running third. And Jamie Bond has not survived, I'm afraid to say, because that car has got a big problem and he's limping on. There it is, yes, you can see it's a punctured tyre. The front left has gone pop, so Jamie Bond out of the race. We're on the last lap then here at Silverstone as Dennis Strandberg locks up again, going up towards Beckett's. Nose to tail for the race lead they run. Martin Depper is coming back at him. We've also lost Tom Walker, by the look of it, out of third place. Owen Walton, Chris Paniotto and then Rory Clark have all gained. Down towards Brooklands comes Depper. Can he make a move on Strandberg? They go left, they go right. The two drivers with British Touring Car Championship experience, 1 and 2 here. For Dennis Strandberg, it's going to be a second win of the weekend though. The Silverstone National Circuit always gives good close racing. It's certainly done so for the Miltech Sport Volkswagen Racing Cup, as over the timing line to win at Silverstone. Dennis Strandberg victorious, Martin Depper second, and Owen Walton hangs on to third place in the background. A very lively race, and we're not done yet. Rory Clark comes through, still squabbling. There, being negotiated a lap down, is Simon Tomlinson. He will win the VAG trophy that runs concurrently with this race. And the next one across the line is Matthew Wilson. He comes through in 6th place. But Dennis Strandberg, it is the man of the weekend in the Volkswagen Racing Cup. 2 races and 2 wins. Dennis Strandberg, the winner, ahead of Martin Depper and Owen Walton. Chris Paniotto, 4th from Rory Clark, and Matthew Wilson.
Dennis, congratulations. Talking the talk and walking the walk.
Oh yeah, that was hard. I had Depper all over me, and we were catching, and yeah, it's unbelievable. That was really good. Really good fun.
That's 2 wins in 2 races here at Silverstone. You've got to really feel confident about the championship now.
I mean, this track suits me good, apparently, and yeah, it feels good. I mean, you can't do better than that. P1 in everything is what you can do. So yeah, I'm really happy.
We should have won that, but no, fair play. Strandberg very quick, very quick. Obviously a few places he was quicker than me, and there was a few places I was quicker than him, but good racing, and hopefully nice and close, which is just the way everybody likes it.
I'm absolutely over the moon. First race of the season, or first round of the season, to come away with some good points like that. I couldn't be happier. After last year when we won race 1, and then we got a DNF in race 2, it's still, even without a win this weekend, a better result to start the year. So I'm really happy with that.
Post-race, Martin Depper excluded in the championship. After 2 rounds, Dennis Strandberg is the man who leads the way. Second is Owen Walton and Chris Paniotto, third ahead of Matthew Wilson, Tony Prendergast and Rory Clark.
Isn't it great to have the Miltech Sport VW Racing Cup back? I tell you what, no one's happier though than the double winner today, Mr. Dennis Strandberg. An incredible weekend for him. He's chuffed to bits. But the rest of the teams, as you can see, there's a real buzz. So they just want to race again. And where are they going to do that? Rockingham. We'll see you there.